Hey y'all, it's Chloe and we're back with another video. You guys, this is a Ready to Love review, okay? Season 4, episode 4 or 5. I can't remember right now at the moment, but it'll be in the title. Trust me, it'll be in the title. But anyway, I got a question for y'all. I got a question. Is this Ready to Love or is this to find your soul sister? Because at this point, freaking Frat done got me all the way messed up. If they think they was going to come up here, become best friends, and then try to make the men choose between the two of them. Y'all, what kind of sense is this making? Make it make sense? Make it make sense. But anyway, let's get into this review. So all the guys meet up with Tommy in the gentleman's lounge, okay? And they sitting down and they talking. And Tommy tells them, I want you guys to continue dating, okay? Because we're going to have a masquerade ball, okay? Get to know these women. Come dressed to impress. And figure out who you're going to have your slow dance with at the end of the night. I was like, okay, we're going to be holding each other and rubbing up on each other at the end of the night. But anyway, AJ, Kara, Alexis, and Jason are going ice skating. Now, AJ and Kara are talking. AJ is basically telling Kara, like, I know we have a history, and I've been trying to keep my little distance from you, but I do want you to know I still have my eye on you, and you are definitely in my top. They seem to be trying to reconnect, you guys. That's what it looks like is happening between the two of them, okay? But anyway, over there with Jason and Alexis, okay? Jason is trying to tell Alexis that, you know, he can't really separate her from being the parent, okay? He still sees her as his student's mother, okay? And she's like, well, I don't want you to string me along. And I was like, well, he hasn't really been stringing you along at all. You've been throwing yourself at him, and he's just been, like, sitting there letting you do it. If anything, honey, he's not stringing you along. You're looking thirsty. But anyway, he basically explains to her that there really isn't a connection between the two of them. And she's like, you know what? I'm cool with that because she's really interested in AJ. But let me tell you something. AJ over there kicking it with Kyra. So it's not looking really good for you right now when it comes to AJ. And if I could remember, I think AJ think you come on a little too strong sometimes. Just saying. Just saying. So now we find out that not only that Alexis has not been friend-zoned, she's been mom-zoned. I've been wanting to say that since I was writing my notes, y'all. But anyway, so Stacy goes over to Ron's house, y'all. And Ron done bought the seafood, okay? Because, you know, he can't cook, so he ordered the seafood, got the wine on deck. He's ready to wine and dine this Stacy, get to know her a little bit, okay? Stacy's telling him about how she's been divorced for 3 years and how her kids are rooting for her. Her 3 kids are rooting for her, and they want her to bring home a man. I found that interesting. Like, your kids want you to bring home a man? They want you to bring home a daddy? Like, what's going on? What's going on? But anyway, she asks him about the other women, and he says, well, one of the women who's in my top is one of your best friends, okay? So her and Chris obviously have become best friends, okay? They consider themselves Frit and Frat. She says that as soon as she met her, they just hit it off and they've been best friends, okay? I was like, already a red flag. You didn't come here to find friends. You came here to find a man. The whole time she's sitting there trying to make him choose between her and Chrysanthia. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that. Worry about yourself. Why are you worried about somebody else? If you trying to get this man, show this man that you need to be his number one. Not try to make him, not try to convince him that she isn't his number one or is his number one. I'm confused at the whole conversation at this point, okay? But anyway, she asks him who's his number one, and he says that Chris is his number one. So she's feeling some type of way. And I'm just like, this is the problem. Stop worrying about who's number one. Do what you got to do so that you could become number one. Or you can feel confident and secure enough in your spot that you don't have to keep asking this man who's his number one. Girl, take a seat, okay? Take several seats, because I just can't understand why you so worried about Chris when you need to be worried about Ron. Just saying. So Amber and KG Smooth, okay, they meet up and they're meditating, okay, and they saying affirmations or whatever the case may be. And then they sit down and they start talking about marriage, like what does marriage look like? And they basically come to the conclusion that marriage for both of them is not the end goal, okay? If they find a soulmate and they decide to get married, then that's good. But that's not the end goal. The end goal is to find someone that you're happy with and you want to be with for the rest of your life. And I was like, well, that works for you. For me, I want the papers, okay? I want you to commit to me for the rest of your life on paper. That's how I know it's real. But for them, they don't need that. And that's perfectly fine if that's what works for them. But like I've been but what I've been noticing is that Chris, once again, is putting all his eggs in one basket. You need to spread yourself thin, okay? Did you not realize what happened to you last season? Did you not learn that when you focus all on one person and then that one person decide they don't want you no more, you get sent home? That's what it's looking like right now for you, KG. It's looking like you focusing all on one person, and then when that one person decide that she not feeling you no more, you going home. Fix it now. Fix it now. Build connections with other women so that you can find love in this house. Just saying. So Ron is taking everyone salsa dancing. Well, he ain't really taking them, y'all. He teaching them how to salsa dance, okay? It's him, Joelle, Diedrich, Tessa, Chris, and Vernisha, okay? And so they all meet up and they all, you know, feeling on each other, dancing, looking like they having a good time or whatever the case may be. Joe and Vernisha done, you know, went off to the side and they just dancing and they look comfortable and they look like it's a vibe. It's a vibe, okay? Even Vernisha said that it just feels so natural when they're together. And I was like, I like them, okay? Joelle and Vernisha just seem like a good match to me. And I hope that they actually make it because they've been hitting it off from the beginning and I don't really see that changing. But y'all know how Ready to Love go. 1 minute you all for somebody and then as soon as they say one thing you don't like, you really ready to throw them out. But anyway, Ron and Chris are sitting there dancing, and then Chris wants to bring up the fact that in the meeting that the women had with Tommy, Alexis was saying that he said that she was his number one. Now he's like, well, you know, I do have a stronger connection with Alexis, and she's just like, well, I'm not trying to be number two. And he's like, don't focus on being number one or being number two. Just I'm looking for a partner. Can you be that? And I was like, exactly. Thank you, Ron, for setting these women straight. Stop worrying about the next woman and focus on what you are and who you are and what you bring to the table. Stop worrying about what the other person got going on, because that's how you not going to end up building a connection, because all your conversations should not be about someone else. They should be about the two of you. I wish Chris and Stacey could get that through their mind. But anyway, Ron is annoyed, and I don't blame him because I'm annoyed watching it. I was annoyed watching it like, come on now, this is stupid. How old are y'all? This shows why y'all don't have a man, because you're so focused on the next woman instead of being focused on your man. If he's your number one, put your focus on him and stop worrying about if you his number one. Y'all, they just be doing the most. They just be doing the utmost. Anyway, Tessa and Diedrich meet up, okay? So Tessa is sitting there saying, you know, like, all the guys keep saying that I have a great personality. But, like, I don't want to be a great personality. I want to find love, okay? So when she meets up with Diedrich, then you can just tell that Diedrich is not really feeling her like that, okay? She feels it. It's not really a connection. He said at one point it felt like he was being forced to flirt with her. It didn't flow natural. She said she could tell that he wasn't trying to lick spices off her arm, and I was like, absolutely not. Okay, unfortunately, I don't think it's actually Tessa. Tessa doesn't seem to be, it doesn't seem like Tessa isn't looking for love. It just seems like everyone isn't really checking for her. So in this case, I just think that, like, they need to do better vetting when they pick these guys and these women. You need to figure out what all your men are attracted to, because obviously a lot of them not attracted to voluptuous women. She said that a lot of men will sleep with voluptuous women, but they won't necessarily marry them. And from this episode, it's looking like it's the truth. Just saying. Just saying. Now, it's time for the masquerade ball, y'all. And the women look nice, okay? I was feeling mostly everybody's dress. Nobody did look bad. Alexis' dress, I really, really loved that, okay? But they amped up Liz when Liz came through the door like she was the hottest thing smoking, okay? And I could see she had a presence about her when she walked in. She looked nice in the dress. But they amped it up a lot. I think it was more so because it was unexpected. Not so much that she just was looking the bomb, but the men was fondling over her, okay? They was like, oh my God, did you see Liz? Oh my God, I'm turning heads. Oh my God, okay? David is basically like, you know, telling everybody that she's his. Okay, I want you to walk with me. I want them to know that we together. And I was like, oh, you feeling that, huh? You feeling what she got on today, okay? She had the little cleavage popping out, little legs showing through the splits. I said, you better work it, Liz, okay? So then Tommy comes in and he's like, I get lonely, you know, hosting all these events. So he brings out his beautiful wife and they, you know, going to join them in the masquerade ball. Tommy tells them it's time to take these masks down, let down those walls, and open up and get to know each other because, honey, we are here to find love. I was like, okay, y'all better take the mask off like Tommy said, let them guards down and find you a man or a wife or a husband or a girlfriend or something up in this house. Okay, let's do that. But anyway, everyone's dancing, looking like they having a good time. I was like, oh, I'm here for the party. Definitely here for the party. Stacey is still over there asking Ron if Chris moved up to his #1. And I'm like, why are you focused on her? Do you want him or not? Because if you want to just play matchmaker, then do that. Like, it's annoying, okay? It's just so annoying. This is not Fine Soul Sisters. This is not it. Just go home. Just go home. Just go home. But anyway, Alexis is talking to Tommy's wife, okay? She's sitting on a step. She got a dress laid out, looking all nice. I was like, I'm here for the dress, honey. I was definitely here for the dress. And she asks Tommy's wife about how to have a happy marriage. And Tommy's wife said something that is so true. She says, you have to find someone that you like and love because there are going to be days where you don't like them and you choose to love them, okay? And that's what's going to make it work. There are going to be times in your marriage where you fall in and out of love with each other, but you have to make the conscious decision to, you know, push through and fight through and ask God, what do you want me to learn from this? And I was like, it's so true because there's going to be days where you're just like, I don't like this person today, but I love them. And that's what keeps you going. That's what keeps your marriage pushing. And then it's normal feelings. Sometimes you feel like you're madly in love and then sometimes you feel like you're just not. But that doesn't mean you don't love them. That's just emotions that you go through as a human being in a marriage with someone else with different feelings and emotions. So I was here for the advice and so was Alexis. And she says she feels like that she's going to keep that in her back pocket and take it with her in her future marriage, hopefully with somebody in this house. And I was like, that's right, girl. Take that in your future marriage because you won't need it. That's the good advice. Good advice. Anyway, so now we get into this whole frit and frat thing, okay? Stacey and Chris, okay? Inseparable, joined at the hip, okay? But honestly, y'all, I feel like Stacey is obsessed with Chris. Every conversation that she has with somebody is about Chris. Every time she's talking to Chris, it's about Chris. I feel like she is definitely obsessed with her. Like, girl, you want to marry her? You want to get into bed with her? Like, what is this? What's going on? Because she's definitely feeling her more than she feeling the guys. Because even every time she talks to the guys, she bringing up her. And I'm like, honey, it's time for you to go. Yeah, time for you to go. And the men are annoyed, okay? When they talking to Tommy, they like, it's just hard to get to know Chris because Stacey is always there. And I was like, exactly. It's just Stacey. It's Stacey for me, y'all. It's Stacey for me. I know it. It's heck. But anyway, Jason and Liz sit down, y'all, and they sitting there talking. And while they talking, he goes and swoops her hair out the face. I was like, yes, you better go ahead and adjust the hair. Make sure you can see the eyes, okay? And Liz was like, ooh, I like that. I was like, I like that too. And when he asks her, could she see him being a match for her? And she says, I'm looking for someone who's trying to be the better version of themselves. And while she's having this conversation, she's rubbing on his knee. And he's just like, I was feeling some type of way through the whole conversation. And the fact that she was rubbing on my knee made me really feel some type of way. And I was like, I feel a connection going on. David better watch out because Jason is definitely stepping in. Because even Liz said, she was like, David's my #1, but I'm definitely feeling Jason. I want to see what this connection is about. And I was like, I feel a competition rising. I feel a competition rising. So Ron is over there talking to Chris, and they look like they was, you know, not really having a good conversation anyway, okay? Because when Alexis walked over, Ron decided that he was going to walk away and go over to Alexis, okay? And Chris was feeling some type of way because she like, I see you over there running to your #1, running to your #1. I was like, ooh, somebody is salty over there. She real salty or whatever the case may be. Don't be mad if you stop focusing on Stacey, then maybe you could focus on Ron. Okay, so Alexis asks Ron about Chris because, you know, Stacey and Chris made it seem like Chris was his number one. So she's trying to figure out what's going on because she's stuck between AJ and Ron, and both of them like Chris. So she's like, okay, so what's the deal? He was like, basically what he said, y'all, was that old girl was surface level. And he can't get past it. It was a jab, and I felt the jab, and I was here for the jab because they was honestly getting on my last nerve. So when all the men meet back up with Tommy after the masquerade ball, they sitting down, they talking about, you know, everything that happened, and they like, did you see Liz? And they like, oh, my neck is still sore from, you know, double take on her, okay? They definitely was realizing that she's definitely has layers to her. Just because she's spiritual and, you know, into church and all that other stuff ain't got nothing to do with being a woman and being sexy and being feminine, okay? They seeing that the layers is definitely there. So Tommy asks all the guys, who's your number one, okay? We find out that AJ is really feeling Ira. He says that a woman that is so forgiving and honest, you know, he really trying to see what that's about. KJ, of course, is feeling Amber, okay? He feels like she's all in and he's in with it, okay? David is feeling Liz, okay? It's the spiritual part of her that he absolutely loves. Joel is feeling Vernisha, but we already know that. And Ron is feeling Alexis. This isn't nothing new. We can tell that this was happening, okay? So when they bring up the fact that who they don't like, they all start talking about how it's hard to get to know Chris because of Stacey. And I was like, exactly. Stacey needs to go. Stacey needs to go. So they all decide that, you know, we gonna put somebody in the bottom. But in that conversation, they realize that no one has a connection with Tessa either, okay? And it's just, for me, I feel like it's about the physical. It don't have nothing to do with her personality. They can't get past the physical part of her to even be willing to build a connection with her. I mean, Diedrich tried, but I don't think he could really get past it, okay? The physical. I don't think he could get past it. And that's why nothing popped off. So eventually, they end up putting Tessa and Stacey in the bottom. Now, this is the part that got me the most, okay? When David went to sit down with Stacey, he asked Stacey how did she feel about the ball. And once again, Stacey was talking about, I feel like me and Chris get a bad rep. And I'm like, this isn't about her. This isn't about her. That's the problem. Okay, he's just like, listen, we came to the conclusion that you're not ready to love. She like, I feel bamboozled. I feel cheated. And I'm like, cheated? You cheated yourself. You was worried about her more than you was worried about the men in the house. No one should have been cheated except for you because you cheated yourself. They didn't do that to you. You did it to yourself. So don't be mad. Don't be sitting there crying, mad because you can't bring a man home to buy puppies for your children because you wanted to be in there focused on another woman. Sorry, sucks to be you. Okay? Now, when Joel tells Tessa that they sending home 2 women, I was shocked because I was like, I really thought Tessa was going to make it through another round. I thought she was going to slide through the skin of her teeth. But they was like, I guess she got to go too. And I was like, at the part when he said, we don't think you're ready for love, I was like, no, Tessa's ready for love. You guys just aren't ready to love a woman like Tessa. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. So Tessa and Stacey end up going home, okay? And they both cried a little bit. But I really felt bad for Tessa more than I felt for Stacey because Stacey did it to herself and Tessa just couldn't help the way that she looked and they didn't like it. And that's just that on that. That's the episode, y'all. I'm just glad that Stacey finally got to go home because I'm over this whole Frit and Fat situation. And I don't know how much more of it I would have been able to take if they would have kept her. If they would have kept her, I probably would have been just like, why? Like, you're never going to get to know one of the other because they always want to be stuck together at the hip. Thank God she's gone. Thank God she's going. And she's messy. She's definitely messy because she tried to spin a narrative about David. She was trying to make sure that that's how Christian got sent home. Yeah, she was a whole mess. Get her out of here. Glad she's gone. And that's Ready to Love, you guys. I got a video coming out for y'all because I'm ready to drag Vincent. Yeah, he's due for a dragon. And I'm going to catch y'all later. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See y'all. Peace.